Most interesting cars of the day on Cars and Bids and Bring a Trailer. We're going to try a live stream, kind of a special live stream thing here while we watch the close of my personal, the close of the auction for my personal 2008 Porsche Cayenne 6-speed manual base with all the cool off-roady kind of overlander kind of stuff on it. I'm really excited to see this close. It's going to close in about a half hour, a little less than a half hour to go. So Michael Deeb is going to be joining us in just a little bit. We're going to get this stream started. We don't usually go live on YouTube, so we're kind of seeing if this works. I'm going to go ahead and play a video for you guys while we wait for Michael Deeb to show up. So here you go.
Get those nerds!
Hey everybody, it's JP from Bid Nerds. I'm doing it. I'm putting my money where my mouth is. This Cayenne, super rare, one of 600. It's a Cayenne manual with a 6-speed, that's right, a 6-speed manual transmission. This car, it's mine, and it's going on Bring a Trailer with no reserve. How's that going to work out? Well, we'll find out soon enough. All right, this is my 2008 Cayenne base with a manual 6-speed transmission. We're going to go take it for a drive real quick on one of my favorite roads. This Cayenne is equipped with 19-inch wheels. It does have the street tires on it. I also have a set of 18-inch wheels with off-road tires, but today we're driving with street wheels. Since we're on a twisty road and it's going to be kind of fun. The default thing to do on one of these is to hit the sport button. If you see some flies flying around, it's because we're out in this location. There seems to be flies everywhere. So there's nothing dead or rotting in the car. It is so fun to drive like this in a Cayenne. This engine really loves to rev up. It's a 3.6 liter V6. It's based on the VR6 Volkswagen engine. This one in particular has a Remus exhaust, which has a cool sound to it. Tire chirp there, a little late braking. Making Lee nervous. Kind of short. I'm going to do another one. Here we go. All right, guys, welcome back. You were just watching that video there. We got Michael Deeb joining me again for the last 20 minutes of my own personal auction. We talk about cars and bids and Bring a Trailer and P-Car Market, and we talk about all these auctions all day, every day. We do it every Monday through Friday, for an hour on this darn show. And here it is. I'm putting my money where my mouth is. I'm selling my own personal 2008 Porsche Cayenne 6-speed manual. This thing is a unicorn. I am just straight up stupid for selling this thing. I'm watching my own video going, what am I doing? Why would I get rid of this thing? And I'm really, really regretting this. Michael D., what do you think is going on here? What's wrong with me?
JP, the only thing more exciting than selling a Porsche is buying a Porsche. And you have it even worse than I do. And your wife should be canonized for sainthood for putting up with it. Because I know every time I talk about buying a new car, Esther rolls her eyes and then her toes curl. What's so funny is the joy of taking you get a car and then you drive it for a little bit, look at hours looking at the car with people don't understand. But I do, which is probably why we get along so well. And then you start to envision what it can be. What are you going to make out of this car? And this livery that you did this car is spectacular. You love it. You drove it. You and Lee went out and shot it. And then you and Rochelle went out and filmed it. And now you've cut this incredible commercial. And I guarantee you, as soon as this car is sold, you're going to spend the next month on our show going, I shouldn't have sold that Cayenne. I love that car. I had it twice. God brought it back to me, and I still let it go. What was I thinking? I got to find another one. And
it's so true. You can see our buddy, the alien,
true.
when we stormed Area 51 in the picture below.
That's such a funny photo.
Oh,
Isn't that
God.
when you hurt your wrist? Didn't you break your wrist or something?
I broke my wrist probably half hour after this picture, and the alien had to drive us back to Vegas. It was so stupid.
That's so funny.
We have had so many good times in this. I should have really prepped better. I've got some great video of this thing out at Area 51. Out in the desert with the alien and just having a great time. You can actually see some of the footage of that will be in our upcoming TV show called Porsche Road Trip. It's Porsche Road Trip with John Polnick. That's me, JP. Coming out on Chassis Media. That's Adam Carolla's TV network on Pluto. That thing might be coming out as soon as like next month, maybe even.
Oh, that's awesome.
It's even remotely possible they could drop it next week, but we don't know. Hollywood is funny. It's a fickle machine. We delivered the show quite a while ago.
We thought that was going to be out in May last year, so who knows, man?
Yeah.
Come on. Like, it just, yeah.
It's true, but we're really excited about that show, and we hope that you guys watch, and we'll definitely talk about it more once we get we get the for sure go ahead that it's happening. But yeah, right now, Michael D. So I have already lost my prediction.
No, you haven't lost.
Yeah.
We're still in the middle, right? So you're at 957, and it's at 20. So you're still winning. But JP, if this car gets up to 22,000, I win. That will be the watermark for a win. If it somehow gets to 19,957, well, you would win because you'd be closer by a couple dollars. But your odd bid creates an interesting, I think, almost impossible to draw scenario on this car. Yeah. So the delta is somewhere between the 21,900 and 22,000. For who decides to win it. But the reality is, if you lose this bid, you win because it means you're making more money than you even publicly addressed that you thought you might, which I thought was a very conservative tact on your part. It's a no reserve auction, which I commend you for doing that. But I agree with you. And we've seen it time and time again. If you have the courage and the faith to offer your car to any of these sites on a no reserve, you really engage all of the interested underbidders. They know that for sure this thing is going to sell, and it keeps everybody engaged all the way up until the end. And so I think it is a brave and brilliant strategy to do so. It's easy to see that happen on a couple $1,000 car, but you rarely see it on cars, or as rare. How should I say it? It's just not as often that you see them on cars that are going to bring, like in this case, maybe $25,000. So here we go.
Yeah. Obviously I'd love to lose my prediction. And we talked about it in our show earlier today that, whatever this car brings, you can't replace it. So even, whatever, okay, great. I get some good money for it. That's nice. But that's it. I'm not getting another one because they're not out there. We'll
find one.
I don't know. I don't know, man. I don't know.
A black interior one. What I predict is if you find a base Cayenne with a black interior, almost any exterior color, if it's got a full black interior, I don't see you flipping that car. I see you figuring out a way to hang on to it longer than you held on to this one. And you've had this one twice. And then you had that other one that you sold on Cars and Bids and made $17,000 on that one. Yeah. And this is arguably a better driving car. We never even mentioned the last 3 days we talked about this car. We didn't even talk about the Ramus exhaust that's on this thing.
Yeah. I mean, the Ramus exhaust, the short shift lever, the GTS steering wheel, it all just adds up to just a fantastic driving experience. I'm going to put a comment on that on the ad here because I feel like maybe I'm going to. So go ahead and fill some time with something.
Sure. I don't know. Listen, Jeff Harley, friend of the Bid Nerds, been at Ferrari for, oh my goodness, now, God, I can't even, it's 5, 6, 7, 8 years, something like that. He's been at Ferrari in San Francisco for a while. But back in the day, we worked together at Audi Volkswagen, and then he graduated to that company's Porsche store, where I believe he spent about 5 or 6 years. One day I went up to visit him. I crossed the Golden Gate Bridge, went up to visit Jeff Harley, and he said, Michael, come here, you got to go for a ride. So we jumped in an E1 Cayenne that turned out to be a GTS with a manual transmission. And right next to Sonnen Porsche in Mill Valley, California, is your typical overpass with the on-off ramps that are the little curly cues. So we drove up onto the frontage road, went up to the overpass, crossed the overpass, and I'm the passenger and he's driving. And Jeff is a pretty mild-mannered driver. He's an excellent driver, but he does not really hot rod on the road very often. And you know that they have the oh shit handles on the left and the right for the passenger. So he gets like second gear across the overpass and dips this thing down into this on-ramp where it took us to our right and underneath the overpass and onto the freeway. And I am telling you, my brain went into fight or flight, where I thought there is no way this 2-ton pig of an SUV is not going to go right off the road and into one of these redwood trees. And this car's tires, JP, didn't even make a peep. And Harley, like I said, is an incredible driver. We went flying onto this on-ramp and then down the freeway. But that one single turn changed my entire perception about what was possible with mechanical grip. And it was Harley at the wheel, not like, Jeff Westphal, who's a race car driver, or my own experiences at a track or on a back road. It just flipped me on my head, and I have been smitten for the manual Cayennes ever since. Now, you've been a big proponent that the base V6 is just as fun to drive as any of the others. But I'm telling you, a Cayenne GTS is kind of my dream car. And you had that.
Well, hold on. The base is not as fun to drive as the GTS with a manual. But it's as much fun, or certain. I would even say that the base model with the 6-speed manual is more fun to drive than a GTS with a Tiptronic. Certainly not with the manual. The GTS Cayenne with a manual is just an unbelievable rig, which is why they're worth twice as much as these or more.
Absolutely.
But here's the thing. A lot of people have been doing the overlanding thing, the off-road thing with their Cayennes. That is a trend right now. Here's the deal. The 6-cylinder is the better vehicle to off-road. If you've actually off-road, if you've actually done any overlanding, torque is not necessarily what you want when you're crawling over obstacles. That will cause you to lose traction if you give too much throttle and you spin the tires. You don't want to spin the tires. You want to crawl over things like big rocks or logs or whatever. Now, it's not like I've gone out and done a bunch of overlanding in this Cayenne. We drove in the snow. I've driven on a few dirt roads and stuff like that. But it's never. But really, if you wanted to, there's, I think, 2 stages of reduction in the gearing, so it's not a true, differential lock, but it's like an electronic diff lock. So the computer does it for you, and it's really, really effective. I mean, you can gear down and just, you get on a steep decline, and you just reduce, and you just, you have no foot on the gas, no foot on the accelerator, no foot on the brakes, and you're like going straight down a hill, and it'll just creep. Hill descent is fantastic. And that's also the way you climb over obstacles. So if you have a whole bunch of torque, gear reduction is there so that you're not over torquing, when you're trying to climb over something. So either to go down a hill safely and not blow out your brakes, or slowly climb over stuff. So these big 6-cylinders or the turbos, are you out of your mind? If nothing else, the turbos, require so much more air and are so much more susceptible to dust and grime getting in there. So your turbos, you got those big, huge air intakes on the front, and it's sucking all that air in. The six-cylinder doesn't need to suck in all that. And you're out in the desert, it's just the six-cylinder is the better way to go if you want to be an overlander. Reliability, holy cow! The turbos and the eight-cylinders have liquid-cooled alternators that require removing the engine to replace those things. I mean, are you out of your mind? The VR6 it's a Volkswagen engine. It's tried and true. Those things get 200,000 or plus miles. Whoever gets this is going to be able to drive it for years and not have to worry about anything.
That photo that you just posted, the picture of you at Area 51, the alien, and the picture with the old Dur livery. I remember when you put the stickers on the car, I was like, damn, that thing looks good.
The Dur livery was fun. I do kind of miss that. A lot of people thought it looked like a cop car at that point, so we kind of ditched
great.
it. But yeah,
everybody gets out of the left lane and lets you by.
Right, that was kind of a benefit. That's true. Good point. Our alien, man, we had such a good time with that alien. When we went out to Area 51, we actually Lee Patet, our in-house photographer, he's also a Getty photographer. He's top 16. This guy is one of the best car photographers in the world. And Lee, we love you, brother. Thank you for all your help on this and taking some great shots. When we went out to go to Area 51, he stopped at the Porsche dealership first. He had something to do there, and he had the alien with him. And so everybody in the dealership wanted to go see the alien. They put it in all the cars there, and so he was late to show up to my place. And then we got in the car, and I was wearing that ridiculous jumpsuit and the helmet, and we went out, and everyone was dressed up out there at Area 51. We saw Paul Oakenfeld out in the desert. There was like 32 people. There was like nobody there. You go to see him. How much does it cost to see him on the strip usually, Deep? Is that,
right.
Is that like $1,000 ticket? And,
oh my God! You'll spend $1,000 at the bar because you'll want if you want a table, it's a 2-bottle minimum. So there's your $1,000 right there.
Yeah,
but,
easy.
Yeah, you and a date, it's $150 just to walk in the door.
Yeah. So there he was. He was like, is close to me and Patootie over here. I won't hold her up. She's
Paul Oakenfold.
So it was great.
By the way, did the score for the Jason Bourne chase scene in Paris in the little Mini Cooper. That's Paul Oakenfold's score.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, he's got a great tie into automobiles if you want to go that route. How's that for a nerd out, right?
That is a nerd out. We'll take it.
All right, we're looking at under 6 minutes here, JP. We're getting down to the final
we're
five.
down to the wire.
Check. Yeah.
So we've got some comments that on the YouTube channel. People are saying we are a bunch of Porsche nerds. You are correct, Ryan.
That's right.
Oh, our friend Matthew Whitesell is watching. He's like, "Are you happy with the money?" We'll see. We'll see in a couple of minutes.
Look at Whitesell putting you on the spot, and you
put me on the spot.
We'll see. It's already over your own bid. You have to be happy. Come on.
I'm not unhappy. I'm not unhappy.
Thank you, Matt Whitesell, for joining in and helping me with my friend here. This is awesome.
Oh my gosh.
I think he's going to be very excited.
Are we going to get a late rally here, or are we stalling out? Is this it?
Of course we are. Absolutely. Whitesell's going to buy the damn thing.
Is Whitesell going to buy it and make me jealous every time I go up to Portland and see him? Matthew Whitesell from 914 Rubber and Work on Your Karma. Check him out. Yes.
Absolutely.
Check him out on the IG.
See him, go introduce him because you will be so happy he's your friend. He is an awesome person. We love you, Matt.
Oh, man. All right. Down to under 5 minutes. This is I'm on pins and needles. What's going to happen here?
I wish we had like a live, like a readout of your heart rate right now.
Oh, right. Amazing. Yeah. Well, I've had like 3 cups of coffee too, so that's not helping. My wife is like, "You want another one? Are you out of your mind? You're already like jacked up and ridiculous." Yeah, boy.
So
all right. So, boy, man, I don't know. I'm gonna have to. You're gonna have to go drive. I'm gonna have to wash this thing. I'm not sure if this person, if whoever wins, it'll be interesting to see if the person that wins wants the livery removed. I hope not. I hope they keep the livery. I seriously
doubt it. Look how cool that thing looks.
I say whoever buys this thing, even if they want the livery to be removed, roll it around with the livery for a while. Have some fun with it, and then take it off. Yeah, go to a car show.
See how many people roll up next to you at a red light and roll down the window and take a photo of the car.
Yeah.
And then decide if you want the livery removed. I guarantee you, in a week you'll change your mind because it's positive attention. Lots of thumbs up in a car like that.
someone in the comments earlier in the week said, yeah, with it saying 6-speed on there, you're basically setting up the new owner to every time they get gas, they're going to have somebody try to buy it in the parking lot, And it's true. It's like,
cool,
anyone
yeah.
that drives an air-cooled 911 knows what that's like. There's the douchebag that comes up to you at the, when you're trying to, fill the tank, and he's like, hey, how much you want for your car? And you're like, well, it's not for sale, really. Oh, well, everything's for sale. And I'm like, well, make an offer. And they're like, 15 grand. I'm like,
Yeah.
no. Well, that's too much for your car. I'm like, you came up and talked to me, dude. You're the guy who's trying to roach off me, and you're the mooch, dude.
How do I help you end this conversation?
Yeah, it's like Porsche can't afford it, pal. Just like bring a trailer. All right, last 3 minutes. Is it going to happen? Is anything going to happen?
Absolutely,
I don't know.
JP.
I don't know.
I predict this thing ends on it's at 12 bids right now at $20,000 with 2.5 minutes to close. I predict this thing will finish with 18 bids and over $24,000. I think.
How many bids are we at now? Right now?
12 bids. I think there's gonna be another 5 or 6 bids on this car at the close of auction. You'll see this. These people want this.
All right, we shall see.
Here we
I don't
go.
know. I don't know. Like I said, the pins and needles are really getting up there. Who is the high bidder right now? What do we got here? We got
HYCO, something.
Good luck, HYCO. We like you, man.
Yeah. And Jason's right there at 18,957. Great bid, by the way.
All right, down the last 2 minutes. It looks like it's not going anywhere.
And the third underbidder is SWHME. So the top 3 bids are 3 different players. So that's a good sign. And then below it is HYCO.
I wonder if HYCO just basically hit the knockout punch to say, all right, 20 grand, there it is.
I don't know, man.
Minute and a half to go here.
Where are you going to find another one? And that is the question,
All right, Tootie, what do you think? We did say that if it topped 20, that we were going to get her some new bows. She does have lots of to add to her bow collection.
She needs motorsport bows to go with her Guys Custom.
Guys Customs. Yeah, we haven't talked about Guys Customs in a while. We got to get them back on here soon. Tootie had the Gulf livery thing yesterday. Okay, last minute. Here we go. Is it going to find another bid, or is this where we're going to be? Is this a $20,000 E1?
Holding out.
All right, 958. I think this might be it, unless someone's going to come in and snipe at the last second.
Watch.
Oh man. Okay.
Under 20 seconds, one of these underbidders is going to be like.
Thanks for everyone for looking at this auction and bidding, and everyone that's commented. You guys have been great. This is going to be fun, even if it ends right now. I'm happy, and I'm happy for the new owner. If it's going to be Heiko, oh my gosh, we're at 20 seconds, people.
One of those underbidders is hoping that Heiko went to sleep, and they're just going to wait till the last.
And they're going to jump in there in the last second.
Jump in.
All right, here we go. 10, 9, 7, 6, 5. And that looks like it. Is it going to be checking for last bids?
Wow. I can't believe it.
Wow.
Mother chicken.
Man, I was off by just dollars on my Yahtzee.
$43 for a Yahtzee.
$43 on a Yahtzee. Oh, man. Checking for last second bids. It's just like sitting there killing me, but I assume that's it. All right, guys. Looks like $20,000 is the number. Yeah, HYCO. Congratulations, my man. You are gonna love this thing. Dude, this I would have been happy anywhere close to this. The fact that we made 20 grand on this car is just amazing. That's have we ever seen an E1 base go for that much? That's well over twice as much as what a Tiptronic would be. And frankly, it's more than twice as much of a vehicle as what a Tiptronic would be. So even if someone had spent $30,000 on this thing, it is 3 times the car as a Tiptronic. Heiko, you're going to love this car. I can't wait to meet you. You guys, thanks everybody for joining us for this live stream. What do you think?
So JP,
I
think it's interesting, right? Because listen, you sold your other car, was it late last year or was it the year before? On Cars and Bids.
Yeah, the gray one?
Right? Yeah.
It was like, it's fall or something like that.
Last fall. Okay, so that car brought 17,000 on Cars and Bids, and this car with more miles and maybe a little bit better marketing because you had the video and the commercial stuff. Brought $3,000 more, so it's I don't know. There's something interesting there. That's significant. It's a big chunk if you take it by percentage. $3,000, is it worth? $3,000 doesn't sound like a lot, but if you take that as a percentage point, that's I don't know what it is, but it's 20% more money or something. It's a pretty decent chunk. That's not bad.
I mean, there it is. BAT versus Cars and Bids, and Cars and Bids does really, really well with these cars with off-road manual, SUVs like X5s and Cayennes. So this is really cool to see this one do even better here on Bring a Trailer. Yeah, I don't know. This one is certainly the better of the two that I had. The other one was a great vehicle, but just not as cool. It was one more old guy. Whoa, Gesundheit.
Sorry, man. Sorry about that. Pardon me.
All right, guys.
While we're sitting here, I just got an email from Rad for Sale, and it has their 6 preview listings about their platform coming. So that will be interesting, and we're going to have Bradley on this week, so we'll obviously be able to talk about this email and the cars that they've clearly got lined up coming to market with a few Porsches on there, which is really cool. So
for sure,
we'll see if we don't sell a Porsche with them coming up soon.
All right, guys. Thank you so much for joining us for our first kind of live cast of an actual bid. We will see you tomorrow during the 9:00 hour for another edition of regular edition of Bid Nerds, your daily nerd out on the most interesting cars of the day on Cars and Bids and Bring a Trailer. Congrats, Heiko. We are going to talk soon, I'm sure.
Heiko. Yeah.
All right,
man.
Thanks, Michael Deeb, and thanks everybody.